Mr. B XRP here, and welcome back. Happy Saturday to everyone. I just got back from playing pickleball, did 3 hours, and had a fantastic time. So XRP started to go on a tear yesterday, late morning, early afternoon. We were as low as I think 215. I think we ripped as high as maybe 234 yesterday. So it started to really move. Ethereum started moving also. So let's look and see where we're at today. Bitcoin's at 101,000. Oh, and by the way, we're gonna talk about a couple things. One is I want to tell you about a potential scam, and I've got some other news items that I want to share with you. Bitcoin's at $101,667. Ethereum's at $3,370. Tether's holding comfortably at $1. BNB flipped XRP again. It's at 986. XRP is sitting at $2.26. Here's what we need this week, okay? So everybody, let's all get on the same page. We need the government to open back up, and we need the ETFs to start going live. We're expecting the ETFs to start going live this week, but if the government opens up too, I think those will be two catalysts that would be absolutely fantastic for us. All right, so Ledger, I got an email this morning. Now, I cannot confirm that it's a scam, but Ledger is not talking about it on their Twitter handle, so that concerns me. So I got a letter. It talks about infrastructure security incident report. Back-end infrastructure servers were accessed without authorization. Ransomware deployed across affected systems. Device metadata and firmware version records were exposed. No private keys or seed phases were compromised. Okay, but then it says update your firmware. Click here. I mean, who in their right mind wants to click on this thing? Like, it says it's from Ledger. I don't know if it's from Ledger, and they're not saying on their Twitter account that this is going on. So I'm not saying this is a scam. This could be legit. All I'm saying is I'm not clicking on that. And look, the truth is, I don't hold my assets on Ledger anymore. I used to, but I don't. And as you guys have heard me talk about before, I use iTrustCapital. iTrustCapital started as an IRA company. They're wonderful for IRAs. If you want to, and by the way, they're my sponsor. If you want an IRA, take a look at iTrustCapital. They have traditional, they have Roth. You could buy and trade your crypto inside your IRA accounts without tax consequences for the trading part. So, if you like to do trading, do it inside of an IRA. It makes a lot of sense. But the other thing is, I have a premium custody account. They call it a PCA account. And you get institutional grade custody. Everything's in cold storage. Nobody can steal your crypto. It's not in a hot wallet. So if you want institutional grade custody at no cost to you, you need to go to iTrustCapital. I have a link in the description of this video. If you would be so kind as to use my link, and you're a new customer, you'll get a $100 funding bonus. And if you're a young person out there and you don't have a Roth IRA, you need to start learning about Roth IRAs. So get on there, learn about Roth IRAs. Use my link if you would please. And iTrustCapital is amazing. I've been doing business with them since they started the company. Okay, this came out from Coin Bureau. It says breaking the crypto market at 150 billion in the last 7 hours. Altcoins alone accounted for 81 billion. So the money started flowing yesterday back into the crypto market. And let's see what else we have. Dark Defender. So Dark Defender, he's one of the chart guys I like to follow. He says, our structure remains unchanged since February 13th of 2025, even 18 months earlier than that. XRP completed the monthly third wave. The fifth wave is starting. Targets are $5.85, $10 levels. Short-term support is $2.22. Many will revise their charts and turn bullish starting today until the end of November. Not financial advice. So interesting. I always like to see what the chart guys are saying. He is still incredibly bullish about XRP and where we're going, and he's got his chart here on Twitter that he posted. So Dark Defender, if you're not following him, it is @DefendDark on Twitter. This just a reminder from Brian from Coinbase. Let's see here. Let's let this rip.
I'm here in Washington, D.C. again, fighting for your rights to try to get some market structure legislation passed for crypto. This would be foundational, just like we did for stablecoins a few months ago with the Genius Act. Market structure legislation protects all the other non-stablecoin crypto assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum. The Senate is strongly supportive of getting this done. The members that I met with on both sides of the aisle are ready to get this legislation passed, and there's draft text now being exchanged back and forth and with the industry for comment, which is great. We saw a lot of alignment today. Now, of course, this hasn't stopped the big banks from trying to throw a wrench into things, and they're trying to ban rewards on stablecoins. The members of the Senate who I spoke to, they're not going to let that happen. That was already litigated and decided in the Genius Act for stablecoins. They're not going to bring it up again. But barring these little details here and there, I think this thing has a good chance of getting done. I've actually never been more bullish on the market structure getting passed. It's a freight train leaving the station. So we're going to keep showing up and fighting for your rights. You can do a lot to help by going to standwithcrypto.org and contacting your representatives. Let them know that you want to see market structure legislation passed for crypto. Thanks.
Brian Armstrong on the front line from Coinbase. So fantastic to have him fighting for crypto regulation. I absolutely love it. This also came out from Coin Bureau. It said just now 500 million USDC just minted. So that's a lot of USDC. Very, very. I mean, look, the stablecoin business is just on fire. It's got to be the world's greatest business. I mean, can you imagine? You get to create these things out of thin air. You get to sell them for $1. Then you get to invest the money into treasuries. It's absolutely a license to print money. I think stable coins is a tremendous business. Anyone that's in the crypto space that is into cryptography and serious that doesn't have a stable coin is crazy. It's absolutely amazing. So Tom Lee is just, he's, look, for me, he's the sales department for Ethereum and Bitcoin. I mean, he just really is. I mean, you don't ever hear him talking about XRP or anything else. It's all Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin and Ethereum. When I was at a financial convention just a couple months ago, all he was doing was preaching Ethereum from the podium. But let's hear what he has to say about Bitcoin. Let's go, Tom Lee.
95% of all Bitcoin's been mined, but 95% of the world doesn't own Bitcoin. So I just think that there's still a huge demand versus supply imbalance, meaning there's a lot more potential buyers of Bitcoin over the next 10 years. And so I think there's a lot of upside into year end.
Into your like 150 target.
Yeah, 150, maybe 200, even 250 this year.
What? 150 to 200 to even 250. And what's you don't have a terminal price on that, do you?
Well, it's, I think at a minimum it should have the same network value as gold. Mm-hmm. And if you look at above ground gold, it's probably 23 trillion. So that would be, 1.2 million for Bitcoin. But I think Bitcoin is more valuable than gold. So, Bitcoin could be 2 million, 3 million long term. I mean, even higher.
Well, look, truth is, I don't disagree. I think eventually it'll end up there as well. But I would love to hear him have an opinion on other things other than Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right, this came in from CoinDesk Podcast Network, and it was U.S. Bitcoin ETF saw $240 million in inflows just on Thursday, snapping up a 6-day streak of outflows, the longest since October. So the money started flowing into Bitcoin ETFs, which we're hoping is going to start happening with XRP this week.
The chart of the day is presented by Crypto.com, the leading crypto platform trusted by over 100 million users worldwide. Let's take a look at the chart of the day. U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs reported a significant inflow of $240 million on Thursday, successfully ending a 6-day streak of consecutive outflows, the longest negative stretch since late October. This rebound comes as the broader market continues to face pressure from the ongoing government shutdown, which has reduced liquidity and curbed investors' appetite for risk assets like Bitcoin. Historically, extended outflow patterns have often coincided with market or local bottoms for Bitcoin. This recent inflow could signal a change, though. The continued government shutdown is expected to further erode market confidence. According to prediction platform Polymarket, there is currently a 50% chance the shutdown will extend beyond November 16th, which could continue to weigh on the broader crypto market. As of time of recording, Bitcoin was sitting at around $100,000. That's it for today's chart of the day. I'm Jen Sanasi.
Yeah, they got to get the government open. I mean, there's just no doubt. We absolutely have to get it open. And this was, Ashish Burla had posted this on Twitter. Love to see it. And Evernorth is right there on the NASDAQ sign, which is very, very exciting for him. So listen, that's it for this one. Don't forget, if you've been thinking about securing your digital assets and you keep putting it off, stop. Today's your red letter day. Check out iTrustCapital. All the links in the description of my video are all protected and they're all safe links. I go through them. I've checked them. They're perfect. Everything works perfectly. You guys can click on my link and get a $100 funding deposit from iTrust if you're a new customer. And enjoy your weekend. Have a fantastic weekend. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Always do your own research. See you next time. Bye-bye.
You should invest in XRP because...
Not even going to answer that.
We're solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem, and we're making a lot of progress towards that.